Wakayela covers like 3 districts.
Yeah, it's quite big.
It's quite big. We definitely need to replace tourism because tourism is a key pillar in the economy of Rwanda. Rather, we need to re-strategize, I would say, the tourism and find a way tourism can still thrive during the pandemic until the pandemic is managed. And this is what we are doing by promoting internal and local tourism, creating package to encourage Rwandans to do their own tourism because the country is safe, the hygiene, the transmission rate are really low of the pandemic. So package and promotion is now focusing on the local tourism. The fact of continue to put a lot of effort in making Rwanda safe so that international tourists can then trust to come to the country, and we can see improving and we can see starting to take shape. Like all over the world, COVID-19 has hit tourism more than any other sector. Almost 90% of all the visitors and therefore the revenue we're getting from tourism were lost from March. Then you understand if there is no tourists, then tourism and everything related to tourism, hotels, transport, everything related to tourism then get an impact because tourism is an industry which drives other industry for years. So all of them have been hit hard. If you look at the economic growth, you'll see that sectors such as industry play a big role. So you're trying to put so much emphasis in industry that we're talking about. Then construction, for example. There were still a lot of projects putting a lot of emphasis on construction. We've been planning to have a service-led economy for so long, and I'm talking about other services which could be related to those other big activities. Agriculture, putting a lot of emphasis and effort in agriculture and transformation of agriculture and the technology in agriculture, that's also key. ICT, of course, because now it's a pandemic, and the pandemic has revived actually the need for ICT, the need to use and put ICT in all our daily life. The government is putting that, and all of that is part of the recovery plan. We are one of the few countries, actually one or two countries in Africa which has received a green REN with EU, so whereby it is allowed to visit Rwanda if you are a resident of an EU country. We are working with other countries such as Australia and here in Singapore to provide such arrangement as well during COVID-19. So we think these key markets, which is US, EU, Australia, will still take on again after COVID-19. For example, here, one of the few countries which has received the International Tourism and Travel Council stamp on hygiene and safety, so which actually shows that Rwanda has been able to put up measures in place to protect tourists. So the airport is open starting August, and it was open in July for charter flights. We're seeing step-by-step recovery of the tourism. So we think that it's going to still recover after COVID-19. It will be where it used to be before COVID-19. We've put a lot of investment and a lot of emphasis and effort for tourism and branding, so we think it will continue to yield fruits. Our tourism is high-end tourism, so we tend to attract high-end tourists in Rwanda, so mainly the EU market, and then the US, and then the Australia. These were key tourists coming to Rwanda. And the reason why the tourism strategy in Rwanda is high-end is because it's coupled, it's combined with conservation. We want to continue our conservation effort while also promoting tourism. We've put in place a recovery fund, and that fund is taking care of all the sectors which look really vulnerable because of COVID-19. And then conservation, which is a part of that, will also get that part of it. So because we know that they were relying on some of these revenues, so we think it's also part of those sectors which is being supported. So the conservation effort we've started will definitely continue. Gorilla baby naming ceremony is now going to happen virtually. And this year, it used to attract a lot of people, but this time it's going to be virtual. I think also there are some of the products in Rwanda which have gone virtual, such as virtual reality of the canopy in the western part of Rwanda, which is the Nyungwe rainforest, and more products are coming up, and we're trying to put them virtual. Tour de Rwanda, it's like any other type of sports and so on. It had happened before COVID-19. That was in Feb. So it's going to happen in Feb next year. And given the management of the COVID-19, which is pretty efficient now in Rwanda, like any other type of sports, the authorities, the government looking at how we can still organize it in a safe way.